Before
When
the
pop star
sun
Rihanna
even
spoke
came
with
up over
Diane
Los
last month about her
Angeles,
tumultuous
flashing
relationship with
police
her
lights were
ex-boyfriend
already
Brown, she
surrounding
put a
Chris
spotlight on
Brown's
the issue
massive
of
mansion.
domestic violence.
Neighbors
And now, for
reportedly
the
woke
first
up to
time,
helicopters
Chris Brown
circling
is
overhead,
responding to that interview,
officers
reacting
blocking
to
off the street,
Rihanna and telling
and
us how he feels
chaos
about her
unfolding
now.
behind the gates of one of the most talked about
never,
celebrity
ever
homes in the city. At
had
first, nobody
problems
knew
with anger,
exactly what
no
was
domestic
happening.
violence with any of
But
my
then
past
reports started spreading that a
girlfriends. I never
terrified
was
woman
that kind
had
of
called
person. I
911
look at it
screaming
and
for help from inside
it's
the
really
house.
like,
According to early
how
reports,
could I
the caller
be that
claimed a
person?
gun had been involved during some kind of confrontation inside the mansion. That single phone call instantly turned the entire area into what looked like a full-scale police operation. And the strangest part? For hours, nobody could even confirm whether Chris Brown himself was actually inside the property. As police waited outside trying to piece together what was going on, rumors began exploding online. Some reports claimed officers were investigating possible weapons inside the home. Others alleged substances were discovered during the search. At that point, details were still unclear, but the headlines were already spiraling completely out of control. And right in the middle of all that tension, Chris Brown suddenly went online himself. Instead of staying silent while police surrounded the mansion, the singer began posting emotional videos and strange rants to Instagram, accusing authorities of constantly targeting him. The more he posted, the more confusing the situation became. Fans watching in real time had no idea whether they were witnessing another celebrity misunderstanding or the beginning of something much darker. But what police discovered after finally entering the mansion would make the story even more unbelievable. Everything reportedly started just after 3 in the morning, when police received a disturbing emergency call coming from inside Chris Brown's mansion. According to reports, a woman was screaming and begging for help, sending dispatchers into panic mode almost immediately. Within minutes, officers were racing through the quiet Hollywood Hills streets toward the property, unsure of what they were about to walk into. At first, details were incredibly unclear. Some reports claimed the woman accused Chris Brown of threatening her with a firearm during an argument. Other rumors online suggested the situation may have involved people partying inside the mansion before things suddenly turned chaotic. But in those first few moments, police reportedly treated the call as a potentially dangerous hostage-type situation because of the alarming nature of the screams. Neighbors later described waking up to flashing lights reflecting through their windows while helicopters hovered overhead before sunrise. One resident reportedly said the entire street felt like something out of a movie scene. Police quickly surrounded the massive estate while trying to make contact with anyone inside. But almost immediately, another strange problem appeared. Nobody seemed willing to open the door, and that only made the tension worse. Officers reportedly tried communicating with people inside the mansion for hours while the situation became more confusing by the minute. Rumors spread online claiming Chris Brown was refusing to cooperate. Others claimed he wasn't even near the front entrance. Meanwhile, social media users began posting wild theories before any official details had even been confirmed. What made everything even more intense was Chris Brown's history with controversy. The moment his name started trending alongside words like gun, police, and 911 call, the internet exploded. Some fans rushed to defend him instantly, saying the media always targets him unfairly. Others believed the situation sounded far too serious to ignore. But while the public argued online, something even stranger was happening behind the gates of the mansion. As the hours passed, Chris Brown's mansion reportedly turned into a complete lockdown zone. Police vehicles lined the streets outside, while officers surrounded the massive property, waiting for someone inside to cooperate. But according to reports, investigators were unable to immediately enter the home because they still needed a search warrant. That delay created a bizarre standoff that lasted nearly the entire morning. And during all that time, nobody outside really knew what was happening behind those gates. Reports claimed officers repeatedly tried contacting people inside the mansion, but communication remained tense and confusing. At one point, rumors spread that Chris Brown himself was refusing to let police enter the property until they arrived with the proper paperwork. Whether that was fully true or not, the situation instantly became headline news across the country. The longer the standoff continued, the more chaotic the scene outside became. News helicopters circled overhead broadcasting live footage, while paparazzi crowded the neighborhood hoping to capture even the smallest detail. Fans gathered near police barricades trying to figure out whether the singer was about to be arrested. Social media completely lost control, with thousands of people posting theories, rumors, and leaked claims before authorities had even released official information. Then people slowly started coming out of the mansion. According to reports, multiple individuals were escorted outside one by one, while officers continued securing the area. Cameras captured tense moments as people exited the property surrounded by police. Some appeared calm. Others looked frustrated and confused. Every person walking out only added more mystery to what may have happened inside earlier that night. And despite all the attention surrounding the mansion, one question still remained unanswered. Where exactly was Chris Brown? That uncertainty only fueled more speculation online. Some believed he was hiding inside while negotiating with police. Others claimed lawyers had already become involved behind the scenes. Rumors spread so fast that it became almost impossible to separate facts from internet gossip. But then the situation took an even stranger turn. Because while police still surrounded the property, Chris Brown suddenly started speaking directly to the public himself. Right in the middle of the police standoff, while officers were still gathered outside the mansion, Chris Brown suddenly jumped onto Instagram and completely changed the energy of the situation. Instead of hiding from the cameras or staying silent while lawyers handled things privately, he started posting emotional videos directly to his millions of followers. And people watching online could not believe what they were seeing. In the videos, Chris appeared frustrated, angry, and almost exhausted by the entire situation. He accused authorities and the media of constantly targeting him, claiming that every few months his name gets dragged into another public scandal. At one point, he reportedly said that when he personally needs help from police because of stalkers or people threatening him, nobody shows up quickly. But this time, officers surrounded his mansion before sunrise. That statement instantly divided the internet. Some fans believed Chris Brown was being unfairly treated because of his past controversies. They argued that the media was turning unverified accusations into national headlines before investigators even confirmed the facts. Supporters flooded social media with messages defending him, insisting people were rushing to judge him simply because of his reputation. But critics saw the situation very differently. Others argued that Chris Brown's history made it difficult for the public to ignore serious allegations whenever his name surfaced in another police investigation. The moment clips of his Instagram rant started spreading online, people began dissecting every word, every facial expression, and every comment section reaction. What may have started as a private emergency call was now becoming full-blown internet chaos in real time. And then things got even stranger. While Chris continued posting online, reports began surfacing that investigators may have discovered suspicious items inside the mansion itself. Rumors about weapons and illegal substances spread across entertainment blogs almost instantly. At that point, nobody fully knew what had actually been found, but the headlines alone were enough to send social media into complete meltdown mode. Even more bizarre, sources claimed Chris Brown was allegedly mouthing off to police during parts of the standoff while officers continued securing the property. Whether those reports were exaggerated or not, the image of a celebrity live streaming his frustration while surrounded by police only made the situation feel more surreal. And once investigators finally entered the mansion, the story exploded into something even bigger than anyone expected. Once investigators finally entered the mansion, the rumors surrounding the case exploded to another level. Almost immediately, entertainment outlets began reporting that police had allegedly discovered firearms and suspicious substances inside the property. Within minutes, headlines flooded the internet claiming Chris Brown's home had turned into a full-blown crime scene. But there was one major problem: very few details were actually confirmed at the time. Reports varied wildly depending on where people were getting their information. Some outlets claimed police recovered at least one weapon during the search. Others pushed stories suggesting drugs had also been found somewhere inside the mansion. Online gossip pages took things even further, adding dramatic theories that